Rise of the Rocket Girls by Nathalia Holt is a non-fiction book that tells the story of the women who worked at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, during the early years of the United States space program. The book focuses on 5 key figures: Janez Lawson, a brilliant mathematician; Miriam Allen, an astronomer; Janez Dunlap, a data analyst; Gertrude Scharff, a human computer; and Sylvia Aderby, a research librarian. These women, known as the human computers, played a crucial role in calculating the complex trajectories and orbits required for successful space missions. The story begins with the founding of JPL in 1936 by Jack Parsons, an occultist and rocket enthusiast. Parsons' vision was to create a research laboratory that would develop rockets for both military and civilian purposes. Initially, JPL was a small operation, staffed primarily by men who were fascinated by the potential of rocket technology. However, as World War II drew near, the US government became increasingly interested in harnessing this technology for military use. In 1943, JPL was taken over by the US Army and began working on rocket propulsion systems for artillery. It was during this time that the first group of women, including Janez Lawson and Miriam Allen, were hired to work as human computers. These women were responsible for calculating the trajectories of rockets and determining their accuracy. They worked long hours, often under intense pressure, as the success of their calculations could mean the difference between victory and defeat on the battlefield. After the war, JPL continued its research, now focusing on the development of rockets for peaceful purposes. The laboratory's work on the V-2 rocket, a terrifying weapon of mass destruction developed by the Nazis during the war, provided valuable insights into the challenges and potential of rocket technology. As the space race heated up between the United States and the Soviet Union in the 1950s, JPL became a key player in America's efforts to explore the final frontier. One of the most significant achievements of the women at JPL during this time was their work on the Explorer program, a series of unmanned spacecraft launched between 1954 and 1971. These missions were designed to explore the solar system and gather data about the environment beyond Earth's atmosphere. The women at JPL, led by Janez Lawson, were responsible for calculating the trajectories of these spacecraft, ensuring that they would reach their intended destinations and return valuable scientific data. Another major accomplishment of the women at JPL was their role in the development of the first American satellite, Explorer 1. Launched in 1958, Explorer 1 discovered the Van Allen radiation belts, which surround Earth and can pose a danger to spacecraft and astronauts. The women at JPL, working under the leadership of Miriam Allen, were instrumental in designing the orbit for Explorer 1, ensuring that it would encounter these radiation belts and make this groundbreaking discovery. Throughout the 1960s, the women at JPL continued to make significant contributions to America's space program. They played a critical role in the development of the Ranger and Mariner missions, which were designed to send spacecraft to the Moon and Mars respectively. They also worked on the Surveyor and Apollo missions, which culminated in the first successful human landing on the Moon in 1969. However, despite their many achievements, the women at JPL faced numerous challenges and obstacles. They were often underpaid and undervalued compared to their male counterparts. They also faced discrimination based on their gender, race, and ethnicity. For example, African American women like Gertrude Scharff were subjected to segregation and discrimination within the laboratory, while women like Janez Lawson and Miriam Allen struggled to balance their professional lives with their personal responsibilities as wives and mothers. Despite these challenges, the women of JPL persevered and made lasting contributions to the field of rocket science. Their work not only helped the United States win the space race against the Soviet Union, but also paved the way for future exploration and innovation in space. As the book concludes, the legacy of these trailblazing women continues to inspire new generations of scientists, engineers, and explorers.